Before we start, I would like to convey the apologies of alternate Minister of Defense for not being able to attend this event this morning because of an accident which happened a few hours ago with a Hellenic Navy helicopter. For this, I would like kindly to stand up for a minute of silence in order to pay tribute to the airmen who lost their lives on the duty. My fellow chiefs of the Royal Air Force and Italian Air Force, Commander of USAFI and the Allied Air Command, Mr. Secretary General of the Ministry of Defense, Honorable Chiefs of the Hellenic Air Force, Professors, Deputy Director of DZA, officers of allied and friendly countries, dear friends and colleagues from all branches of the armed forces, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and a pleasure for me to welcome you to the 4th Air Power Conference, a conference that has been established in Greece as the main forum to promote views, developments, new ideas and challenges regarding air power. This year, we have opened up this conference to participation to the academic society, to universities, and to defense industries, having also the privilege to host from abroad as key speakers some very distinguished personalities from the air domain. Next year, despite the budget constraints, we hope to evolve this event to an international conference, inviting participants from everywhere, because we do believe that such fora can work as a force multiplier to our effort for the evolution and futures planning for our forces. No doubt, the significance of air power has remained unchallenged since Second World War, despite the shift from the traditional forms of armed confrontation to the current operations against terrorism and other asymmetric threats. Through years and continuous evolution, air power has been changed a lot, but both its use and characteristics remain the same, and that is the direct, rapid, and in-depth projection of force that deprives the opponent the capability of strategic reaction. Recent developments in the Middle East reaffirm the importance of air power as political leaders' first choice for projection and application of military force. In addition, having witnessed the implementation of its unique characteristics in achieving strategic effects, air power has been proven as the most appropriate means for displaying clear political and military messages. However, the cost states have to bear in order to maintain a reliable air power has always appeared to be high. And I stress the word appear because in my view it isn't. Because every time we have to compare the cost to the intended strategic effects. In European countries, they were prompted to reduce the forces. The nature of air war in recent years seemed to justify the choice. I apologize. I say again, recent years seemed that the choice to reduce the forces, it was justifiable to make the forces of fighters in smaller scale operations. However, more often than not, international environment evolves faster than current operational plans, bringing forward a new range of threats, and the resulted impaired air power finally proved limited in offering solutions to cope with them. Operational requirements have also drastically changed. The projection of large volume of firepower on concentrated military forces and infrastructures gave way to the precise attack on minimal targets in very tight time frames. The need for accurate and timely information, surveillance, reconnaissance, identification, and effective coordination led to a rapid growth in demand for new platforms, often in the form of unmanned aerial systems. We often tend to expect that new aircraft platforms will provide us with the appropriate solutions to the upcoming challenges. However, we have to consider that the design and development of even the most modern fighters now in service dates decades back. The long process of developing a new weapon system does not allow for a fast adjustment to emerging demands. Therefore, if we are to witness some innovations, maybe they will come by domains that keep rapidly growing, such as of networking and information, presenting the challenge of timely production, analysis, and distribution of information through integrated, durable, and extended networks. Looking to the future, obviously, some questions emerge. How will the international environment be shaped in the coming decades? What are the challenges air forces will have to cope with? What technological solutions need to be developed in the near future? I am afraid that any answers to these questions should not be considered as accurate. However, we can, with relative safety, predict the world to be greatly changed in the next few decades, with the need for reliable air power growing disproportionately high compared to the allocated resources. The critical factor for any air force in the future will remain the capacity for rapid and flexible response and adjustment to new circumstances, challenges, and threats. Close collaboration with industry, especially in the research and development domain, can be a decisive factor in achieving the desired adaptation of today's technological capabilities to future emerging needs. Hellenic Air Force is undergoing a reorganization period and is optimizing its capabilities, having incorporated numerous modern weapon systems while addressing the obvious constraints of the existing budgetary situation. Considering every challenge as an opportunity, we continue to plan with realism and flexibility, having as main driving force the skills and dedication of our airmen. We focus our efforts on establishing accurate operational priorities while seeking to modernize and enhance the capability of our weapon systems to take the advantage of smart and cheap new technologies, to increase intra- and interstate synergies, to optimize the technical and logistical support, and finally to invest in the continuous realistic training and the optimum employment of our personnel. Fellow chiefs, the air forces we lead differ in size, structure, and equipment, being oriented in many cases toward different kinds of threats. Nevertheless, our mission is to provide our countries with a credible deterrence force, and if deterrence fails, fight and win a war. This is our common ground, a mission that has to be achieved despite a series of limitations and constraints we all face in different, of course, magnitude. I am confident that your presence in this conference will greatly contribute in finding the appropriate way to address the current challenges to our forces and to maintain air power as unique, reliable, and dominant strategic choice for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I am certain that in these 2 days, the conference will promote ideas and even produce conclusions that will enhance our operational capabilities through the confirmation of existing or the identification of new priorities as required for a successful transformation of air power in order to cope with any kind of emerging threat in the future. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your presence. At this point, I would like to open up the works of this conference. Thank you.